Mama Tamisha is not the one to come for. So don't try it. Sit down. Welcome to Camp Frosty! Hey campers, it's Jacqueline Frost and welcome back to Camp Frosty. On today's episode, we're going to talk about Season 13 of RuPaul's Drag Race. Now this season started off with pretty much a 4-part opener. The first episode, we saw half the queens sashay away or get the pork chop. The second episode, we saw the saved queens do their runway challenge. Nobody was eliminated that week. Episode 3, we saw the pork chopped queens do their runway. Nobody went home. And episode 4, we saw both teams come together, and sadly, we started eliminating queens. Did the right queen go home? What do you think? Comment below. So, every season of RuPaul's Drag Race, there's 1 or 2 queens that just rub you the wrong way. Loud, obnoxious, rude. This season is no exception. 4 episodes into it, and 1 queen is on everyone's mind to sashay away. The fandom is, in a word, nuts. It's one thing to have an opinion and to express that opinion, to disagree, but it's another thing to threaten a queen or to threaten a queen's family. That's unacceptable. As fans of drag and fans of Drag Race, if you don't like a queen, don't follow them on social media. Don't support them. Don't buy their merchandise. It's that simple. But you should never threaten a queen or threaten their family. After 13 seasons, World of Wonder has said nothing about the queens being attacked or threatened on social media. But now all of a sudden, they want to step in. And I'm going to read a couple things. World of Wonder put out a statement saying, if you can't love our queens, shut the F up. Or STFU. Hashtag Drag Race. Now, they've gotten a lot of comments from queens. And I commented to them, maybe quit putting problematic queens on the show. The show used to be about finding queens of talent. Now it's about who's going to create the most drama. We've seen this in seasons past. I can't wait to see who is sent home to keep Candy on the show. So I got a lot of responses. And a lot of the responses that I got were agreeing with me that Candy is annoying. Plain and simple. That's the best way to put it. Just annoying. Candy did threaten the queens on the show in Untucked. They're not saying anything about that. They're just going after the fans. Now, World of Wonder needs to own their responsibility and their part in this, too. They're the ones that pick these queens to be on the show. And Candy Muse has a history on social media of going after queens. Candy was, and probably still is, one of those queens that went after previous contestants on RuPaul's Drag Race. Like the fans are going after her now. So she has no room to talk. Now, do I agree with bringing her and her family into it as far as threatening their lives? Absolutely not. Like I said, you can have an opinion, but don't threaten somebody or somebody's family. The thing that I got, I'll just read some of these. One person commented facts. Another one commented, yes, this all day you are so right. Another one commented, louder for everyone to hear. Get that busted wigs, loudmouth, drama-causing, untalented mess out of that workroom. We all have opinions. And then another person commented, I stopped watching because it became stupid and super fake to me. The last season I watched was the first time Trinity was on. Another person commented that part. Drag Race UK is to live for. I agree, and we'll talk about that in another episode because I'm loving Drag Race UK right now. So, we're going to get into this one. I mean, the rest of them pretty much agree as far as the drama and as far as Kandi being loud, obnoxious, and annoying. But someone commented, I'm curious what you mean by problematic. Explain it to me like I'm 5. So I laughed at it because I'm thinking, oh, that's funny. So he comments on that. I'm legitimately curious. It wasn't a comment meant to make you laugh. Because if you're equating any of the situation between Tamisha and Kandi as being problematic, maybe have the same energy for the white queens who were in equally as compromising positions. Laganja, Eureka O'Hara, and Magnolia Crawford come to mind. If you're just adding to discourse that is overwhelmingly proven toxic specifically to queens of color, are you actually adding anything new? Or are you reinforcing the facts that the Drag Race fandom repeatedly treats queens of color in a way that's racist? First off, have several seats. This is in no way race related. So quit putting me in your narrative. First off. Second off, Kandi is annoying as shit. And everybody knows it. Everybody agrees with me. That's a fact. It has nothing to do with color. Annoying people come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. And people with opinions the same. So, sit down. So I commented to him, oh, this had nothing to do with race. Laganja was just as problematic as Kandi. Not all of these queens are being cast based on talent. The show wants the drama, so they cast queens that they know will deliver. Kandi has a history of delivering drama on social media. To which he responds, as does Trinity Taylor. To the point where now even Drag Race girls are speaking out. But why aren't you coming for her? I commented back because she's not in this season. I've shared my opinions on all the queens over the seasons, but now the production company wants to chime in on the way their cast is being treated. They'll continue to cast drama queens because it makes for good TV. Then he comments back, because Kandi Muse and her family are receiving death threats. That is the reason why they said something. Don't you think adding anything to the discourse specifically about this moment in the show may be contributing to this sense of entitlement that the fan base feels they have when it comes to critiquing queens of color? To which I commented, I also don't care for Tina Burner this season. I think she's another one that's there to stir the pot. And I do. But so far, Tina Burner is kind of walking that line between just being kind of catty, you know, the catty queens in the dressing room. That's fun. That's fine. I'm okay with that. But if Tina goes the route she's going and she crosses that line that Kandi has, oh, I will speak up about it on social media as well. Because as a fan of the show, I have an opinion and I have a right to share that opinion. Nothing to do with color, everything to do with class. To which she responds, R.E. Tina, why not offer this as your criticism and not about social media drama that has little to nothing to do with the actual competition? To which I commented, because Kandi was the one that went off on everyone this week. If it had been Tina, I'd be saying the same thing. And then somebody else chimed in, which I was glad, because I'm getting tired of having this back and forth conversation with this person. So another person chimed in and says, Kandi is being the aggressor on camera and told she was arrogant and cannot take the criticism. No one deserves death threats ever, and I'm saying that clearly. But Kandi needs to understand her reactions are causing her family problems they do not deserve. To which he commented to this other person, yikes, imagine telling your closest friends that the way they carry themselves is causing family problems they do not deserve. To which a third person chimed in, if it's true that Kandi Muse is as dramatic as is told, then color has nothing to do with it. It's her mouth. The only reason color would be anything to do with it is if people choose to make it racial by adding color. It's simple, your mouth makes drama, not your color, and if that's hard for you to see, then you need to seek education. And then of course he had something to say to the third person that commented in. Imagine lobbing an insult at someone who never insinuated anything other than the fact that World of Wonder had to step in against a racist fan base. The overwhelming disparity between how white queens on Drag Race are treated versus queens of color is stark. Mostly, I was just asking about how Jacqueline adding their opinion to this discourse was either helping things or enabling a culture. To which person number 2 comments, white queens are not cast in the same way queens of color are. This is an issue with casting. Rue knows these queens make good TV. If you're upset with anyone, blame casting for choosing queens that are antagonistic. Fifi O'Hara was very antagonistic, and she is white. It just so happens this time Candy is Afro-American and Latina, but she's obnoxious regardless of her color. To which the third person chimed in to the second person, as the world turns, the gaze of our lives. But you again bring racist to the table when it's not needed. In the world of drag queens, I am sure Jacqueline Frost would agree, there is no room for color inequality, only room for talent. Love and good shows, and if the fan base can't bring that, then they are not fans. This doesn't mean you can't have critics, because you can learn from them, but a critic is not meant to be a racist. To which I responded what I said previously. Annoying comes in all shapes and sizes and colors, and so do opinions. To which he responds, I agree. To which the fourth person comes in and comments, Jacqueline Frost, I have no idea what just happened, but I think he really just spent 2 hours trying to prove that you were racist. People will dig so deep to try and cancel you like he expected you to list every single problematic queen that's ever been on the show. Don't dare leave anyone out. That's racist. So, to reiterate, yes, Candy is a queen of color. She is Afro-Latina. Bravo to her for being on the show. The show needs more diversity, and that's great. I'm all for it. But, after 12 seasons previous, these queens coming into this competition know that these fans are rabid. I mean, they're nuts. And yes, there is a racist fan base for this. They will go after anyone of African American or Latina or Arabic descent and gut them on social media. That's a fact. This is not about that. This is about a queen who was cast on the show to create drama. World of Wonder needs to own their part in this too. They're casting queens to create the drama because they want to make good TV. And they're the ones editing the show to make for good TV. So it's part World of Wonder, it's part the queens that are getting cast and how they're putting themselves up. And it is the fans as well. As far as everyone wanting Candy to sashay away, I don't get into spoilers. I don't like them. I'd rather watch the show play out the way it plays out. My husband, on the other hand, will go in for the spoilers. So he already knows pretty much the order the queens are going home based on the spoilers. I don't want to know that information. So I tell him not to tell me. So this past week, when Candy was causing all the drama, I made the comment, I cannot wait to see her sashay away. She just needs to go. And he says, no, she's not. She's top 4. So she's getting the Silky edit because Silky made top 4 because Silky stirs the pot. Remember season 11 when Silky was in the bottom with Nina West? And they both kind of did their thing. Silky had gotten comments like 3 weeks in a row about her padding. And, you know, it was wrong. Nina was always at the top of her game. She's at the top of her field, period. So they both do the lip sync, and then Rue's response was just, meh. So I'm expecting a double elimination, because she wasn't impressed with either one of them. No. She sends Nina West home. And Silky stays. Now, after Silky's getting critiqued week after week and being in the bottom week after week, you would expect Silky to have gone home. Because Nina, hands down, could have won season 11. She did get Miss Congeniality, and if you follow her like I follow her online, she's not doing too bad for herself. I love me some Nina West. I wish she would have stayed longer. I wish she would have won the show. But she didn't. It is what it is. But the fact that in that moment they decided to keep Silky over someone who could have represented the Drag Race brand name and taken it higher than it already is. It didn't make any sense to me. And that's the edit we're getting this season with Candy. Is she's going to make top 4, and she's going to make top 4 because she's going to be there throughout the competition to stir the pot, to cause more drama. And I'm not here for it. Last week, we lost our eye candy, Joey J. Oh, so cute. But, again, it is what it is. Not all the queens are going to make it. They're going to be going home week after week. But there's still some queens in the competition that I want to see, so I'm going to continue to watch. Whether or not I watch Untucked is another story. I may just watch the show and then just turn it off. So that's today's episode. Just to touch on what's going on this season on RuPaul's Drag Race. Be a fan of the show, have your opinion, have your critique, and that's fine. But don't go after the queens with threats. Don't go after the queens' families with threats. That's not cool. So, have a great day. Thank you for tuning into this episode this week. Mwah! Love you. Hey, thanks for watching Camp Frosty. Make sure to like and subscribe and ring that notification bell.